Consider how nature operates. Seeds don't wait for perfect conditions to sprout. They push through cracks in concrete when necessary, adapting to their environment rather than demanding it adapt to them. There's a lesson here about the fundamental difference between those who accomplish things and those who merely dream about them. Successful people don't have fewer doubts or better circumstances. They simply understand that momentum creates clarity faster than contemplation ever can. Action generates data, feedback, and course correction opportunities that overthinking never will. The writer who waits for inspiration may wait forever, while the one who writes daily discovers inspiration in the work itself. Our modern world has exacerbated this tendency to delay with endless distractions disguised as productivity. We confuse research with progress, planning with execution, and busy work with meaningful effort. The digital age provides limitless opportunities to get ready, consuming content about success rather than creating it, polishing theoretical plans rather than testing actual prototypes. This creates the illusion of progress while reality remains unchanged. Meanwhile, those making real impact understand a counterintuitive truth. Starting before you're ready forces growth at a pace that comfortable preparation never could. Inadequate resources breed creativity. Tight deadlines sharpen focus. Public commitments raise standards. The pressure we avoid is often the very catalyst we need. There's also a compounding effect to early action. It's frequently underestimated. Small efforts made consistently over time create exponential results invisible in the beginning. The person who starts investing early with modest amounts outperforms the one who waits for larger sums. The artist producing daily work surpasses the perfectionist hoarding unrealized ideas. This principle applies universally. Relationships built through consistent small gestures outlast dramatic but sporadic efforts. Skills developed through regular practice eclipse occasional intensive study. The advantage isn't in intensity, but in showing up daily, especially when no one's watching and the results seem insignificant. These invisible increments eventually reach critical mass while others are still waiting to begin. Perhaps most importantly, action creates evidence that disrupts limiting beliefs. Every time you move forward despite fear, you collect proof that you're more capable than your doubt suggests. This evidence becomes the foundation for increasingly bold moves, not because conditions improved, but because you did. The executive who fears public speaking doesn't overcome it by waiting for confidence to magically appear. They build it through repeated exposure. The aspiring entrepreneur doesn't suddenly feel ready for risk. They become comfortable with it through gradual steps outside their comfort zone. Waiting for readiness is like waiting to enter the ocean until you're dry. It misunderstands the very nature of the experience. The harsh reality is that time amplifies every choice. The decision to act compounds just as powerfully as the decision to delay. 5 years from now, you'll have either the results of consistent effort or the regret of perpetual hesitation. The same energy spent rationalizing inaction could have been channeled into imperfect progress. This isn't about reckless haste, but recognizing that preparation has diminishing returns. At some point, further delay isn't wisdom, but avoidance. The most successful people aren't those who eliminated all risks, but those who understood that not risking anything was the greatest risk of all. They knew the perfect starting time isn't found on a calendar. It's created by the decision to begin. The moment of truth arrives when you finally understand that no external force will rescue you from your circumstances. This realization isn't depressing. It's the most liberating epiphany you'll ever have. When you stop waiting for permission, for the perfect mentor, for the system to change in your favor, you reclaim the power that was always yours. The world's most successful people share one common trait. They operated under the assumption that if anything was going to happen, they would have to make it happen themselves. Not because they were arrogant, but because they recognize a fundamental truth. Nobody cares about your dreams as much as you do. Not your parents, not your teachers, not some hypothetical benefactor, just you. And that's exactly how it should be. This isn't about rejecting help when it's available. It's about refusing to make your progress contingent on factors outside your control. Too many potentially great endeavors die in the waiting room of life. Waiting for funding that never comes, waiting for recognition that never arrives, waiting for someone to validate what you already know you're capable of. Meanwhile, those who achieve extraordinary things understand a simple but profound principle. You don't need anyone's blessing to start building. The resources may be scarce, the knowledge incomplete, the conditions less than ideal, but action attracts opportunity in ways that waiting never can. Every email you send, every prototype you create, every skill you develop increases your surface area for luck to strike. Consider how many revolutionary ideas began with someone working alone in a garage, basement, or small apartment. They didn't wait for corporate backing or institutional approval. They started with what they had and let the results do the talking. There's a reason for this pattern. When you demonstrate serious commitment, the world responds differently. People are drawn to those who exhibit what psychologists call agency, the visible determination to shape one's circumstances rather than be shaped by them. This is why bootstrap success stories resonate so deeply. They prove that while help is nice, it isn't necessary. The most powerful alliances are formed between people who are already in motion, not between those waiting to be discovered. There's also a psychological transformation that occurs when you take full ownership of your future. Complaints lose their appeal because you're too busy creating solutions. Excuses wither away because you're actively proving them wrong. Fear diminishes because each small victory builds evidence of your capability. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about the concrete confidence that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself. The entrepreneur who survives early struggles develops resilience no business school can teach. The artist who creates without an audience develops an authentic voice no focus group could predict. These are advantages that can't be bought or faked. They're earned through the willingness to be your own savior. The modern world makes this particularly challenging with its emphasis on instant gratification and viral success. Social media creates the illusion that everyone is being discovered except you. But examine any real success story closely and you'll find the same pattern. Years of quiet work before any recognition arrived. The difference wasn't luck or connections, but the decision to keep building whether anyone was watching or not. This mindset creates a powerful paradox. By acting as if no one is coming to help you, you become the kind of person others want to help. Investors seek out founders obsessed with solving problems. Publishers chase writers who keep writing without a book deal. Opportunities flow toward those already in motion. This principle extends beyond professional success to personal transformation as well. The person waiting to feel motivated before improving their health will wait forever. The one who starts training despite discomfort rewires their identity through action. Relationships don't thrive because circumstances become perfect. They flourish when people choose to show up fully, regardless of imperfections. Financial freedom doesn't begin with a windfall. It starts with the decision to master money habits, no matter your income level. In every arena of life, the pattern holds. Lasting change begins when you stop waiting for external rescue and start deploying your existing resources, however meager they may seem. The most profound benefit of this mindset is how it alters your relationship with fear. When you know you can rely on yourself, setbacks become information rather than catastrophes. Rejection stings but doesn't paralyze because you're not dependent on any single yes. Criticism lands differently because your sense of worth isn't tied to outside validation. This isn't about becoming arrogant or isolated. It's about developing the internal foundation that makes true collaboration possible. Secure people don't partner out of desperation, but from a place of strength. They attract rather than chase because they've proven to themselves that they'll be fine either way. Ultimately, this is about recognizing that your life's trajectory was never meant to be determined by outside forces. The education system, corporate ladder, and traditional success scripts are just options, not obligation. Every revolutionary thinker, innovator, and change maker in history understood this at their core. They didn't wait for systems to reward them. They created their own games with their own rules. This isn't about rebellion for its own sake, but about the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can author your own story. The most dangerous prison isn't lack of resources. It's the belief that someone else holds the key to your freedom. When you realize the cell was never locked, everything changes.